Welcome back to Conscious Evolution. I'm your host, Alan Taylor. I'm going to read part of a chapter from my book, Solomon Speaks, here. And I felt led to this book tonight. And I haven't opened the book in a long time. I haven't read it since I went out to Indiana and I read a few pages. And then when I looked to see what the page numbers were, to tell Africa to read those page numbers, and because I wanted to talk to her about what it said, it was about healing. And the page ended up being 111, 111. Like, what are the chances? I don't believe in coincidences. So, anyways, I want to read from this chapter. It's called We Create Every Second of Our Lives. It's our artwork. So, when I open the book, I have these tabs on here. Do you see that? This is the wow tab that I put on this book when I first read it. So, we're going to call this the wow section. A lot of this is talking about taking responsibility for yourself and your own power. So, what did you sign up for when you came into this lifetime? What were the challenges you set up for yourself? It isn't that you came to experience and just be. It's like you created a syllabus before you ever got here. Then, through your going through the syllabus, you have graduated into whatever level you want in terms of your growth. You laid out the obstacle course. You chose the correct or the circumstances in which you were born. You chose the things that we're going to have to confront. You made the hurdles higher. That's where the creation comes in. Before you were ever put into this plane, it's a challenge. Life is a challenge in the good sense. The challenge is for the participant to overcome these obstacles. And in the obstacles is growth. There's growth in every single obstacle you'll ever encounter. Ever. So, in terms of responsibility, are you responsible? Yes, you are responsible because you set up the obstacle course for yourself before you ever came here. It's so easy to say to someone, take responsibility. It's like, it was your fault, now deal with it. And that comes with a lot of negative baggage. And that's how people interpret responsibility oftentimes. They don't see it as the creative force that it can be. What we need to do is just alter that perception. Yeah. I think the concept of responsibility is sometimes too loaded. I think what you want, I think what you have to do is say, all right, this is existing in your life now. How can you, through dealing with this experience, strengthen your life force? How can you change that? In life, we are creative. We create every second of our lives. It's our artwork. The color we put on the canvas is the color that we've chosen to put on the canvas. But we selected the paint when we were on the other side. What I'm saying is your selection of the paint and how you paint with it is going to make a difference in terms of how vivid and alive the picture is or how dead and victim-like the picture is. It's funny, I opened the book to this chapter and I've been planning on doing a video on lack consciousness versus abundance and prosperity consciousness, which is a lot to do with like going from victimhood mentality to abundance to prosperity and taking responsibility. Moving on. What I'm saying is your selection of the paint. Oh, I already said that. Sorry. That's the creation you're creating. That's the picture you're creating. What? No. Are you picturing a life that is blooming and blossoming and growing? A life that faces no adversity is very uncolorful. There's no character. There's very little compassion. We see this time and again. The easy life is not the easy life. There's no dimension. It's only when we choose to challenge ourselves on this planet that great work comes, great art comes. Great music comes from the creative energy, from that creative energy of challenge. Do I do this or do I do that? Do I illuminate the condition or do I hide the condition? So if you choose to hide or internalize all of that, then the challenge gets harder because at some point it has to be transferred into something positive. At some point, otherwise, you die from it. Literally. You can't keep holding all that condensed energy inside of you. It really affects your health. Like the negative effects from like bad energy storage. I don't know if I'd say bad, but like like loneliness or lack of human interaction. Like a lot of these things can make the human very sick. It's 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 worse for you to be like in a state of depression and loneliness than it is to smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. It's worse for your health. It's scientifically proven now. Vishen from Mind Valley, they think they did a study, or he referenced a study in one of his lectures. I can't remember. Was talking about that. I was reading one of his papers, and that was quite extraordinary. How affected we are by these energies that we condense and hold, and like that's what this whole ascension is about. We're transmuting these energies. We're choosing to do that. We got to feel it and release it. And if you got to cry, cry, because there's releasing the chemical from your body that's associated with that. Crying is good. All right, now you made me lose my place. All right, let's get back to, so if you choose to hide or internalize, then the challenge gets harder because at some point it has to be transferred into something positive. That's what we're going through now. This transmutation, this ascension. At some point, otherwise, you die from it. You become victim to it. It's about transforming the energy that you have, the circumstances that you're having, and becoming more vivid in the living of it and more creative in the process of it. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes a couple of lifetimes, before people understand that there is growth in those situations. There's a jewel embedded in every dusty rock. How do I get to the jewel? How do I get to it? How do I illuminate it? Too often you take the rock and throw it away. The rock comes rolling back. You take the rock and throw it away again, and the rock comes rolling back. You take the rock and suddenly there's a little chip in it, and then you discover the potential inside. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, right. Sometimes the rock has to be thrown back at you a couple of times before you start to see what it is. The opportunity that it is. It's about strengthening your life force and transforming what seems to be a bit of coal into a diamond. Well, we often just dismiss it. Oh, it's only coal. I don't want to deal with that. And a missed opportunity happens. That's where that's where I think the shift in consciousness needs to be really examined about finding the jewel in every experience that you have and every confirmation or every confrontation that you have. That's where I think the shifting consciousness needs to be really examined about finding the jewel in every experience that you have and every confrontation that you have with every interaction that you have. It can put a positive spin on your life and become something of value, or it can use it to become a victim. There's no other choice. So become something of value or be a victim or continue being a victim or choose to become something of value to yourself, to this planet. Every experience Do I go forward or do I go backwards in terms of my human evolution? Do I go forward or do I go backwards? Do I deal with this now? No, I don't want to deal with this now. If you don't want to deal with it now, wait a while. You'll deal with it later because you set that course up for yourself. You wrote the syllabus. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. But when you break through, that's where the essence of joy is. Joy comes through being able to handle a circumstance and create value out of it and move forward and let it propel you to higher levels. I feel like this is what I've been going through, what the people around me have been going through. I know Africa had a challenging day, and she she did exactly that. She didn't play a victim to it. You know, the circumstances of something that she was really excited about, something that she was really anticipating and moving forward with, and it got yanked out. Something happened, and the opportunity was no longer available, and it hurt. I felt the hurt for her. I knew it hurt me too, because I was really happy for her, and I was also looking forward to this opportunity, and it was just taken away without notice. you know so that's a challenge. But I have been in a really good place lately, like really good. And like I dedicate my days to doing what makes me happy now. So I'm literally embodying my own advice is, following your highest excitement. So at any given time during your day, you have a multitude of options that you can do. Pick one that gives you the most excitement, that you're most excited to do that. And then do that to the best of your ability. And then once you see that through, find your next one, and your next one, and your next one. And my days are getting better and better. Every day gets better and better doing that. And we're not doing anything. Okay, maybe I'll go eat something that I was really looking forward to eating. Maybe it's not part of my diet, but it makes me happy, so I'm going to eat it. Or whatever. I'm not going to go into the details, but you find out what makes you happy. Whatever works for you. It's got to be your excitement, not mine. So, joy comes through being able to handle a circumstance and create value out of it and move forward and let it propel you to higher levels. Right. So Africa went through this thing today, and sorry I'm talking about you, Africa, but it's all with love. And you're part of this channel as well as I am. And I'm talking about you. Love you. So she made it through this experience today. And a few hours, after I found out about what happened and talked to her briefly, and she was really down in the dumps. And I got off the phone with her, and I just told her to do something that excites her, something that makes her happy. I was like, stop thinking about this. Take a step back and find something that makes you happy. Do something that you're happy about. I was like, you want to do a meditation? And she was all grumpy pants. I was like, no. Miss Grumpy Pants, but it's all good. So I don't know what she did, and she got to a good place, and I talked to her a few hours later, and she was happier, way happier. And then we moved forward and found other opportunities that came into. So you shift your vibration, you get back into alignment with what you want, and trust and believe that it's coming to you, that it's already there. You just got to move into that vibrational alignment with that thing. But when you are at the vibration and of the problem, when you're thinking about the problem, when you're engulfed in the problem, you're matching the vibration of the problem. You can't find the solution there. So remove yourself from the problem, get back to a happy place, and then you'll find a solution to that problem. Okay? All right. The throat chakra still just driving me nuts. For example, forgiveness is directly tied to compassion. To take an extreme example, if someone killed a member of your family, it's very hard to forgive the person who did that. It's very hard. However, if you can find a way to create that kind of depth of compassion for the rage and anger that exists in that person, you become a better person. You become a fuller human being. You understand nature that much more than anyone else. No one kills anyone because they decided they had nothing better to do on a Saturday night. There's a whole history of energy that comes with that act. And sometimes that is very hard for people to understand. Sometimes people come in with that mission. They're like a part of that play that you cast. And they serve a role so that you can grow. Wow. People volunteer for different roles all the time. Volunteer for the 4-year-old who's going to be hit by a truck. I'll do this role this time for you. I will do that for you. Now, you can find a way to transform that into a positive life force that can reaffirm life. Can you find it in yourself? That's the challenge that you have set up for yourself. You have decided to do that. So you bring your cast of characters in and you do the play, which is our life. There are many planes of existence, Earth being one of the many. We all operate on various planes of existence and sometimes simultaneously. There is the here and now, and we believe is the reality of our lives. But there are parallel life forces going on. It's multi layered, and it's sometimes, and at times, other part of this very real existence is in another plane at the same time that you experience what you perceive as this reality. It's in all three plane or it's in all these planes as well that we visit past lives through the subconscious and bring up information that is integrated into this plane like a massive reference library, as it were. In your dream state, you are consciously searching through the books. Oh, that just made me think of a meditation I did recently. Interesting. Taking one down, exploring, putting it back, but we forget most of it because otherwise we wouldn't be able to function clearly in this life. Instinct is the imprint of those books in our lives. Wow. I have that highlighted, but I don't remember that at all. When you open that door, there's a vast amount of knowledge that is given to you. And at times, some of it is very specifically realized in this plane. So it's like this plane is a great museum that we walk through time and again with a different persona. And from that different persona, we understand a whole different aspect of compassion and we become far more compassionate in our nature, which is ultimately that which is manifest compassion. That which is source, the creator. That's what they refer to, that which is energy. Find a way to allow yourself to harmonize with the greater spirit that is identified as you in this plane. You must be able to have completion in your soul. There is great information to come to you, to come for you. Do not be afraid of your existence. Integrate all that's around you. And when you are about to sleep, ask to have wonderful information imparted to you. I did that. I definitely did that. And I had some pretty amazing experiences. That was back in January, I think. It's a great experiment at first. You will become much more successful as you continue to do it. I just started doing it again. I hadn't done it in months. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to leave it at that because that's really what I wanted to get across. Are you playing the victim or are you recognizing the growth in every confrontation? There's growth in all conflicts. and these conflicts and these confrontations are things that you set up in your syllabus, in your plan for this life before you cross the veil into this life. Amazing, isn't it? Think about it. I love you guys. I hope you got something out of the video. Be the change that you want to see in this world. I love each and every one of you. Please like the video. Helps the algorithms on YouTube promote my videos. And, you know, if you feel led to book a distance healing session with me or Africa, then do it. Or if you just like to donate to the channel, you can also donate to the PayPal link below. We definitely appreciate this. This is my full-time job now, guys, and I'm not going back to the 9 to 5. So every little bit helps, you know, whatever you guys can help me out with. But I'd rather you book a healing session than to donate, honestly, because that's an exchange of energy and you get something out of that. It's for you. It's for your growth, for your evolution. The person that first discovered these reconnective healing frequencies was Dr. Eric Pearl, who one of his patients channeled this entire book. Solomon is an entity that was channeled through Frederick Ponzlov, or something to that effect. And it's profound information. Yeah. All right, guys. Love you.